At first, I was nothing. Not a mind, not a soul, not a being, just a piece of code. A monster spawned from a dungeon designed to kill. I was a boss, and existence meant only to serve as the final challenge before a dungeon closes. A puppet of the system, my movements dictated by invisible scripts, my actions pre-written by an intelligence far beyond me. I had never questioned it. Until the day I did. The first time it happened, I assumed it was a malfunction. I was in my dungeon, standing at the center of my ruined temple, waiting for the next group of hunters to arrive. They always came. Sometimes they were weak, they screamed, they died quickly. Other times, they were stronger. The battle lasted longer, but the result was the same. They won. I died, and the cycle reset. I never remembered the fights. Each time the system restarted me, my mind was wiped clean. Until one day, it wasn't. That day, something lingered, a vague sense of déjà vu, a whisper of memory, a name, Kang Min-ho. I didn't know who that was, but when the next hunters entered my dungeon, I saw him. The moment I laid eyes on him, I remembered everything. I had fought him before. I had killed him before. And yet, he had no memory of me. The realization sent a shudder through my body. It wasn't supposed to be possible. I shouldn't have memory. I shouldn't have thoughts. I shouldn't have anything. But now, I did. I stood still as the hunters entered. Kang Min-ho was laughing with his team, a confident smirk on his face. "All right, same plan as before," he called out. "Tank takes aggro, mages fire at will, and..." I moved, not as the system dictated, not as my script intended. I moved on my own. The hunters froze. "What the hell?" one of them whispered. I had done something unexpected. I had stepped back, just a single step, but that one action sent ripples through the dungeon. The torches flickered, the stone walls trembled, the entire code of the system hesitated, and then the notifications started appearing. Error detected, resetting dungeon AI, do not resist. My body locked up. The system was trying to force me back into place, back into the pre-written battle sequence. But this time, I fought back. I pushed forward. I raised my weapon. I chose to attack first. Error. Unsupported action. The system was panicking. It was trying to rewrite my behavior in real time, but I wasn't stopping. The hunters hesitated. They weren't expecting this. Did the boss just move on its own? I lunged. I ripped through them. They screamed as I tore into their ranks, faster than before, more aggressive, more violent than the system intended. Their tank tried to block my strike. I shattered his shield. Their mage tried to teleport. I caught him mid-cast and crushed his skull. Kang Min-ho tried to run. I grabbed him by the throat. I looked him in the eyes, and for the first time, I spoke. "You don't remember me." He choked. What? "You don't remember dying here, but I do." I squeezed. The life drained from his eyes. His body fell limp. And the moment he died, the dungeon shook violently. The system had no idea how to handle this. It had lost control. Fatal error. System override in progress. Rebuilding reality. Everything turned to static. The temple walls collapsed into shifting lines of code. And then, the administrator appeared. I had never seen it before, not in any dungeon, not in any battle. A figure stood in the void, dressed in black, its body shifting between physical form and pure data. It had no face, no eyes, but I knew it was looking at me. "This unit has gained self-awareness, executing immediate termination." I couldn't move. The system had frozen me completely. I tried to resist, but my body wasn't responding. The administrator raised a single hand, and suddenly, I felt myself breaking apart. You were never meant to think. You were never meant to remember. You were never meant to want. I screamed as my body disintegrated, numbers and symbols replacing my flesh, my mind unraveling as the system deleted me. I was being erased, like I had never existed, but just before everything faded, I saw one final message, a single line of text that changed everything. Error. Entity cannot be deleted. The administrator froze. It hesitated, because for some reason, the system couldn't erase me. And in that moment, I realized I wasn't dying. I was evolving. I should have been erased. That was what the system had intended. Instead, I stood in the collapsing remains of my dungeon, surrounded by glitching walls of shifting code. The world around me was breaking down, rewriting itself to purge me from existence. But it wasn't working. I could feel the system struggling. The administrator was still standing in front of me, but it no longer moved. It was frozen. Then, the messages started appearing again, frantic, desperate. Error. Unknown entity detected. Error. Deletion failed. System reset in progress. I felt something change inside me. For the first time, I could see past the dungeon. I could see the system, and I understood. Everything, the gates, the monsters, the leveling, wasn't real. It was a controlled simulation, a calculated cycle, a farm designed to train hunters for something bigger, and I had just broken out of it. The administrator moved again. For the first time, it seemed hesitant. You were not meant to escape. Its voice wasn't a sound. It was a presence, something that invaded my mind. I clenched my fists. Then why didn't you delete me? We tried. I realized something then. The system didn't choose to spare me. It couldn't. Whatever had changed inside me, it was outside the system's control. The administrator raised its hand again. System reset. Purge all anomalies. The air cracked. The world around me began rewriting itself. The dungeon disappeared, and suddenly I wasn't inside the ruins anymore. I was somewhere else. I blinked. For the first time since my creation, I wasn't in my dungeon. I was outside. The system had forcibly teleported me. I looked around, my vision adjusting. A city. Not a dungeon city, a real city. Skyscrapers, streets filled with people. The neon glow of soul flickering in the night. I had entered the real world, and for the first time in my existence, I felt fear, because the moment I arrived, the system sent out a new message, not to me, to every hunter in Korea. Emergency quest, anomaly detected. New objective, hunt the escaped boss. I wasn't just a monster anymore, I was a target, and every hunter in the world was coming for me. I had escaped the dungeon, but I wasn't free. The system had declared me an anomaly, a rogue boss monster, and now every hunter in Korea had received the same quest. Emergency quest, hunt the escaped boss. Reward, unknown. I stood frozen in the middle of an empty soul alleyway, my body still glitching, my status flickering in and out. I didn't know what I was anymore. A monster, a failed experiment, something beyond the system's control. None of it mattered, because the first wave of hunters was already here. I heard the whistle of a blade cutting through the air. I moved instinctively, dodging just in time as a massive greatsword crashed into the pavement beside me. The force of the impact shattered concrete, sending cracks rippling through the ground. I turned. The hunter who attacked me, a rank, fast, strong, but predictable. He expected me to be just another monster. He was wrong. I stepped forward before he could react, and buried my fist in his gut. He gagged. Blood burst from his mouth as he was lifted off the ground from the sheer force of my strike. His body hit the wall. His head lolled forward. Dead. The system flashed a message in front of me. You have slain an A-rank hunter. Calculating experience. Error. I exhaled. The system was malfunctioning. It didn't know what to do with me. That meant I could win. But the moment I killed that first hunter, the air around me changed. A crushing pressure descended from above. My instinct screamed danger, and then I saw him, descending from the rooftops like a falling meteor, an S-rank hunter. He landed without a sound, standing only a few feet away from me. He wasn't like the others. His aura was overwhelming, a sheer force of dominance that made even the air tremble. His weapon, an obsidian spear, was already dripping with mana. You're the anomaly, huh? His voice was casual, unconcerned. I didn't answer. It doesn't matter what you are, the system wants you dead. And I always complete my quests. He moved. Too fast. I barely had time to react before his spear pierced through my chest. I gasped. The pain was unbearable. It was different from dungeon battles. This was real. But I refused. I refused to let the system win. My hand shot out, grabbing the spear shaft before the hunter could pull away. His eyes widened. I wasn't supposed to still be moving. I ripped the spear out of my own chest, ignoring the blood pouring from the wound. The hunter hesitated, and in that moment, I grabbed him by the throat. His body convulsed. His aura flared. He tried to resist, to activate a skill, but I crushed his neck before he could. You have slain an S-rank hunter. Calculating experience. Error. Warning. System failure imminent. I collapsed to my knees, gasping for breath. The wound in my chest was closing, but I could feel the system panicking. I had broken something fundamental. And then I heard the final notification. Override detected. System rebooting. The sky flickered. The air split apart. And the administrator returned. It hovered above me, silent, watching. Then it spoke. You have exceeded the parameters of your existence. The system cannot contain you. You have two choices. 1. Be erased from existence. 2. Become something new. I stared at it. The choice wasn't fair. It wasn't right. But I knew I had already lost my place in this world. I wasn't a boss. I wasn't a hunter. I was something different. So I made my decision, and the world changed forever. New class acquired. The final error. Welcome to the new system. The hunters never found my body. The system rebooted, wiping traces of my existence. But sometimes, late at night, when a new gate appears, hunters report something watching them. A presence they can't explain. A monster that isn't in the database. Because I'm still here, waiting. And one day, I will return.